countdown is on to their meeting in the ring.
Wow.
But the story of their journey there was anything but complete.
Yeah.
As the two best fighters in the world risk everything for history.
Is there a fighter in the world that can beat Bud Crawford? I ain't came across him yet. Everything happened for a reason, and I truly and firmly believe the reason for me to be in this situation right now is to become 3-time undisputed champion of the world.
I'm here in boxing to make history, and winning for me means a lot in this fight because he's one of the best in the last 15 years. He accomplished a lot, and I accomplished a lot, and I think it's a perfect match.
I was excited, but I wasn't like, oh, I beat Spence, or I did it. It was something that I already knew was gonna happen. I just needed the opportunity to show everyone.
He is willing to take a risk. This is literally uncharted territories for Terence Crawford.
I don't care. He can weigh 200. That's gonna be bad on him.
Don't let anyone tell you that the weight doesn't matter. It makes this a monumental accomplishment for Crawford.
Putting on muscle don't actually mean that you're gonna be slower, but you punch a little harder.
Yeah. Now I feel it's different. When we spar, it's a whole different. But now he got the power. He's always had power, but now it's a different power, man. And he still got the speed and the movement and agility is crazy, man. So his movement ain't nothing changed, man. They gonna see. They gonna see, man. And I wish it was September 12th right now. It'll be tomorrow. But we got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks from tomorrow. Everybody gonna see. It's gonna be groundbreaking. It's gonna be something like spaceship landed on Earth.
Crawford's sparring partner revealed that this camp feels different. Power, speed, movement, all elevated. And now, Canelo is walking directly into that storm, stepping toward a fight that could rattle the sport like never before. Crawford's coach, Spikes, doubled down with bold certainty, everything is going to work. His weight is right. His legs are strong. His mind is sharp. We've done our homework. Everything will be perfect. This wasn't just confidence, it was conviction. Every detail had been sharpened with precision, leaving nothing to chance. To Spikes, destiny is already written. When that bell rings, Canelo won't just be fighting Crawford. He'll be facing a camp convinced the outcome is inevitable. But Spikes reminded everyone, this battle isn't only about size.
First and foremost, Canelo is a smart fighter. Like, people are more concerned looking at the size, but Canelo is an intelligent boxer. There's always a method to what he's doing. So let me just make that clear. We're not going in there just looking at size. Canelo is smart. Canelo set traps. He has good timing, solid defense. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's respect given to Canelo and everything that he's accomplished. He's seen every style. He's overcome a lot of obstacles that he's been faced with. So I don't want the narrative, you know, I see that the narrative is size, but Canelo is a smart fighter in his own right. However, like I told you before, our IQ, our toolbox, same situation I told you last time. Picking the right tool at the right time is going to beat this guy. We're prepared for every situation possible, whether it's on the ropes, center of the ring, wherever you want to put it. We're prepared for any and every scenario. Come fight now.
Spikes acknowledged that Canelo's true strength isn't only physical. It's his mind, the traps, timing, and defense that dismantle opponents before the knockout ever comes. But Crawford's camp has prepared for that. They've trained his mind to match and outthink Canelo's strategy. This won't be muscle against muscle, it's chess at the highest level. And in a fight between two masterminds, one mistake changes everything. that's where the danger lies. That's why this night could flip the script in ways no one expects. Even talk of Canelo's elite sparring partners didn't shake Spike's confidence.
I mean, we can't be worried about what he's doing. He's doing the right thing to get the best guys to try to get him prepared. I mean, he should be taking Bud serious. I hope he's not taking Bud lightly. So, I mean, obviously he's taking his camp serious and getting good guys in there to push him. I mean, we got good guys in there to push us. We're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. It doesn't matter what he does over there. And at the same time, a lot is made due about sparring. And just overall, like 16 ounces in headgears is different than 10 ounces and under the lights. So with that being said, me personally, I'm not concerned about, and our team, we're not concerned about who we sparring with, this and that and other. That's why I made the joke on Twitter. Well, I hope the odds swing in his favor since he's working with Boots and everybody think that that's such a huge advantage for him. Okay, so I was just making a little joke about it, and I'm serious at the same time. So.
For Spikes, it's not about who trains in Canelo's gym. It's about who stands in their own. Crawford's preparation has already covered every scenario. No headgear, no excuses, only the truth under the lights. Sparring may reveal glimpses, but it can't predict the chaos of fight night. Spikes spoke like a man with absolute belief in his system. The message was clear: Crawford is already 2 steps ahead. Then, the conversation shifted to history and how skill can erase size.
You know what, these type of fights, it's usually people look at it as like the smaller fighter usually has to box and move. A lot of people's drawing comparisons to like Leonard and Hagler or any type of other fighter moving up. And the big key of it is speed. Is there truth behind all of that? I know that speed's always a component of all of it, but more than normal because of the fact that...
I'm going to say styles make fights. Styles make fights. Littler guys with more skill have beaten bigger guys over the years, like it's happened. Like you said, Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. You could say when Michael Spinks moved to heavyweight, he was a light heavyweight champion. Evander Holyfield was a light heavyweight cruiserweight champion. Usyk is a smaller guy. He's not a natural, I mean, he's grown into the weight now, but he's beating bigger guys with his boxing skill. I mean, it goes on and on. Skills pay the bills at the end of the day. It's just about being prepared, having a good game plan, and having the right dog in the race. You know what I mean? And that's what matters.
From Leonard to Usyk, boxing has always told the same story: smaller men, smarter men, toppling giants. Spikes reminded everyone, boxing isn't math, it's art. Timing, heart, and precision bend the rules of weight and reach. Canelo may be the bigger man, but Crawford is here to rewrite the script. History shows underdogs with the right tools can make legends fall, and now that shadow hangs over Alvarez. Spikes then opened up about camp, admitting it wasn't always smooth.
Madrimov was a tricky style. He did a lot of feints, he wasn't committing, he was very patient. You know, this is a completely different style from what Canelo's going to bring. So, you know, Madrimov gave us a little bit of difficulty. He came to win, he came prepared, but we overcame the obstacle, you know, and that's just that. That's in the past, and, you know, we're looking towards Canelo.
Madrimov's tricky style forced Crawford to adapt, refine, and push past his limits. Every obstacle in training became a test, a reminder that victory is forged through fire. And Canelo won't bring hesitation, he'll bring that same fire multiplied. For Spikes, the storms Crawford endured in camp were just a preview of the war ahead. The talk then turned to Canelo's past defeats, and Spikes didn't sugarcoat it.
The Canelo that you guys will be facing?
I can't say. I can't get into that. But I'm going to say that I love Bivol. I love Dimitri Bivol. He's one of my favorite fighters. He lost to a hell of a fighter. He lost to a future Hall of Famer. And, you know, that's just that. There's nothing I can really say about that. He didn't lose to a regular guy. He lost to a pound for pound elite fighter and a bigger guy at that. So, I mean, that's not much that I can really say about that. But as far as his improvements, he's shown some things, but, you know, we'll see us exploit him on fight.
Yes, Canelo has fallen before. But Spikes framed those losses as lessons against greatness, not signs of weakness. Respect was given, but never mistaken for fear. They've studied every adjustment Canelo has made since, dissected each layer, and prepared to turn those same improvements into openings. Fight night won't be about the past, it'll be about who controls the present. And Spikes hinted that man will be Crawford. He then broke down one of the fight's biggest myths, size.
I'm a bigger guy since he was 14, 15 years old. So size doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's a skill. It's what you got up here and it's what you got here. Everything else will fall into play.
To Spikes, size is nothing but an illusion, one Crawford shattered long ago. From his teenage days, Bud has faced bigger, stronger men, and never blinked. The true battle isn't on the scales, it's in the mind and the heart. That's where victories are born. Spikes warned that Canelo's weight won't save him when skill takes over. In fact, the smaller man may prove to carry the heavier punch. And with a chilling promise, Spikes left the room. Canelo won't be ready for what's coming.
I think for sure, Canelo is going to feel his power. Canelo is going to respect Bud Crawford. He's not going to be able to just walk through him and whatever he thinks. You know what I mean? Bud is a very strong fighter. He's a very good puncher. And like I said before, this is going to be the key in this. Punching power, speed, timing, all that's good. But it's a mental game. This is what's going to carry us through that night.
The moment fists start flying, Canelo will realize Crawford isn't the kind of man you can just walk down. Power, speed, timing all sharpened to slice through even the tightest guard. But beyond the physical weapons, it's Crawford's mental edge that Spikes trusts most. Then Nelson stepped in, breaking down why this fight is unlike anything fans have ever witnessed, speaking with the kind of certainty that makes the room fall silent.
People gotta understand, man, like every fight is different. There's so many perspectives and so many things that go on, and not to reveal everything, but that fight was that fight. This fight for Canelo, man, like, it's not fight night yet, but him moving up, people's gonna be surprised. Dude is not like, it's not like he's a small guy and he just put on a whole bunch of weight. Like, but he's a bigger friend. He always been bigger. He always had to cut down. He always had to cut down to the weight. So now he gets the difference from this fight is he won't have to cut down. He just go in the ring. You look at all this weights for all the other fights, it's 168, 170. So when he fought 154, he was like 170, 172 going in the ring. So he's gonna go in there the same way this fight. He's strong, man. He's strong.
Nelson made it clear, Crawford isn't entering as some undersized underdog. This is Bud at full strength, no draining, no holding back. A fighter perfectly built for this weight, built for this moment. If Canelo believes size will be his trump card, he could be in for a brutal surprise. The suspense only grows, because the truth won't be revealed until the first punch lands. When it does, the entire world will see what's real. Nelson went deeper, pulling back the curtain with stories that revealed a side of Crawford few ever get to see. It wasn't hype, it was history.
As far since I've been boxing, but even before I sparred, Bud always sparred bigger guys. You know, he's Lester Martinez and other heavyweights and light heavyweights and middleweights, wherever he can get, where he can get, man. And he always hold himself down. He always hold his ground, man. And people just don't know until they get in the ring, and they always say, just like Errol said, man, Bud power is real. It's real, man. And it's like, people say what he can and shouldn't, couldn't, haven't been. Like, that's what makes people great. Anybody that's ever been great, they always did something that people didn't expect. Correct. And that's going to be Bud. He's going to do something that nobody is expecting. A lot of people is expecting are real supporters, but a lot of people who are doubters are going to be like, man, or they're going to come up with excuses like always.
From his earliest gym days, Crawford tested himself against bigger, stronger men standing toe-to-toe where others backed away. That's where his steel was forged, where the confidence we see today was born. Nelson reminded everyone that greatness isn't given, it's earned by defying the odds. Doubt has always followed Crawford, but so have the moments that silenced it. And now, Nelson hinted that silence could shake the sport. Then Andre Ward stepped forward, bringing his own experience of climbing weight divisions, and what he revealed flipped the narrative completely.
So, conversation was warranted. He's really moving up 3 weight classes since his last fight at 147 with Errol Spence roughly about 2 years ago. So it's really a 3 weight class jump. I think what people have to understand, and I had to understand this when I moved up to face Sergey Kovalev, I went and I consulted with Mackie Shields. And I kept using the phrase, I'm moving up in weight, I'm moving up in weight. I gotta get my body ready to move up in weight. He said, have you seen the scale lately? Have you looked at your body scan lately? And I think at that time I was like maybe 185, 188. He said, you're not moving up in weight, you're just cutting less. And that was like, man, that was transformative for me because I looked and I was like, man, you're right. So technically I'm moving up weight classes, or a weight class in my case, but I'm really not moving up in weight. I'm just not having to boil myself down. So
Ward explained it wasn't about chasing pounds or bulking up. For Crawford, it's about freedom, shedding the weight cut that held him back. This isn't a man stepping into the unknown. This is a man entering his natural zone. And that difference changes everything when the bell rings. A body that feels whole creates a mind that fights without hesitation. That's the Crawford Canelo will face. Ward didn't stop there, he broke down why this could be the sharpest, strongest bud the world has ever seen.
And I think he's gonna have better endurance. Not being able to boil himself down like that, and even though it is a huge jump, I think we lose sight of the fact of how much he had to boil down and how gaunt he looked at 140, and even quickly at 147. It got to the point where you start to cut into muscle mass. If you know anything about weight loss, at a certain point, that affects you in a boxing ring. Boxing, maybe wrestling, and MMA are the only sports where you have to tear yourself down for two months or 3 months, not just the training, but the weight loss. And then you have less than or right around 24 hours to put it back on, and then you need to go be great the next night. Everybody else gets to play or compete at their walking around weight or their playing weight. So I think that's gonna favor Terence Crawford of not having to boil down 25 or 20. It's probably gonna be about 10 to 12.
The endless drain of weight cutting is gone. No more stripping muscle. No more walking into the ring depleted. Ward reminded fans that most athletes compete at their natural weight, while fighters are often forced to suffer through dangerous cuts. Crawford has lived that life, and now he's leaving it behind. With more strength, more energy, and more focus on the fight itself, he becomes something else entirely. Mix that endurance with his skill, and the result is a dangerous recipe. That's the version of Crawford waiting for Canelo. Ward turned his words into a direct warning.
A couple of things are true. I think number one, I think Father Time is catching up to Canelo, but it's subtle. A little less punch output than normal. Maybe the reflexes have weaned just a little bit, but he's still better than most fighters in the world today. I don't think the Skull fight was a matter of age. I think Canelo Alvarez is extremely crafty, not just in the ring, but up here. And it's similar to a football team scrimmaging early in preseason. I'm not pulling out the playbook. I'm gonna give you some mundane vanilla plays. We'll run some power left or some power right. We'll do a couple of slams. We'll show a little bit that when we play you in the season, it's not gonna be the same guy that you saw. So if people think that they're getting the Canelo Alvarez that false pro, they're sadly mistaken. I think Canelo did just what he had to do. But when you face a real threat and you're a great fighter, you elevate mentally, psychologically, physically, because you have to. Canelo Alvarez is going to be different come September 30th.
Ward hinted at something subtle that time might be whispering to Canelo. Some say he looks slower in recent fights. But Ward reminded everyone that champions never show their full hand until the moment truly matters. Against a threat like Crawford, Canelo will rise, sharpen, and unleash the side we haven't seen. The danger isn't in what's already been shown, but in what's still hidden. Ward's words left one chilling thought: September won't reveal a fading Canelo, it will reveal a different Canelo. One that Crawford must be ready to break. From there, the conversation turned to another respected voice, Adam Smith.
Canelo is known. I think Canelo, obviously the Mexican machismo that holds all the super middleweight titles, nearly 70-odd fights. He's been phenomenal. I think he's 35 now. But for Terence Crawford, he has definitely gone under the radar. 4-weight world champion, 41-0, 31 knockouts. A southpaw who's got IQ and speed and craft. I think it's a fabulously interesting matchup, the two of them, because you've got the big guy, the strong super middleweight, really, really cultured, wonderful fighter in Canelo, but is he just slightly, ever so slightly, fine margins past his peak? And you've got Crawford, who needs this fight as is coming.
Smith's words felt like a warning wrapped in analysis, pointing to a fight balanced on a razor's edge. He didn't dismiss Canelo's power or his legacy, but he hinted that Crawford's timing may arrive at the perfect moment. His breakdown painted a picture of a clash where intelligence and precision might overshadow brute strength. Every angle he raised only tightened the suspense surrounding September 13th. By the end, one truth became clear: this isn't just another fight. It's destiny colliding with resistance, one man defending his empire, the other.
Huge step again in weights, but I think he's got the speed, I think he's got the know-how, I'm sure we'll talk about it more next week, to cause problems for Canelo, and I think that he could win it on points.
His answer didn't come as hype, it came as measured belief. He weighed Crawford's speed, IQ, and adaptability against the mountain of Canelo's experience, and somehow, his words left the door wide open for an upset. The kind of prediction that makes fans lean forward, pulse racing, wondering if history is about to bend. By the time he finished, it felt less like speculation and more like the spark of a seismic shock. Then Robert Garcia stepped in, breaking down the reality Crawford is up against with blunt honesty.
On paper, Canelo should win. Canelo's bigger and stronger. And if Canelo lands good punches, I think Canelo could hurt Crawford. Crawford's, first time in that division and jumping 2 divisions where he only had one fight at 154 and didn't look his best either. So there's a lot of questions, about that, and that's why a lot of people think Canelo is going to knock out Crawford, but
the weight, the size, the power all lean toward Canelo. Garcia reminded everyone just how steep the climb really is. Questions about Crawford's move up only add to the tension, fueling doubt but also curiosity. Because in boxing, the what if is what lights the fire. And here, doubt makes September feel even bigger. Still, Garcia didn't stop there. He gave Crawford his respect, laying out why this fight can't be dismissed.
One of the only ones that I do give Crawford a chance. Yeah. I think Crawford could pull it off. Crawford is very talented. He's very fast. He's very smart in the ring. So I think a perfect fight, Crawford could pull off a decision.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think he could win a decision. I don't pick him. I wouldn't put my money on him winning because it's a very dangerous, risky fight, especially with Canelo being so strong.
Garcia's tone shifted to respect, calm, measured, undeniable. Crawford's speed, his ring IQ, his adaptability. Those qualities can't be ignored. He painted a scenario where perfection could tilt the balance, where one flawless night might change boxing history. It was cautious hope wrapped in the acknowledgement of risk. And yet, his words breathed life into the possibility that Crawford could shock the world. Then Garcia pointed to one factor that could tip the scales: Canelo's recent form.
Canelo's last few performances, he's looked slow, flat-footed, looking for one punch at a time. And if that's the Canelo that fights Crawford, Crawford could win a decision. Crawford could outbox him, could outsmart him, could land 3-4 punch combinations and move and win a decision. So do I give Crawford a chance? 100% think Crawford could pull it off. Would I put my money on it? Probably not, but I do give him a chance.
He spoke of the subtle cracks, slower feet, single-shot hunting, moments where the fire burned just a little dimmer. If that version of Canelo shows up, Crawford's chances grow. This fight, Garcia said, may not come down to strength at all, but to sharpness, timing, and who stays one move ahead. His breakdown turned the fight into a chess match, skill and strategy against brute force. Meanwhile, Sebastian Fundora reminded everyone of the reality. Canelo already proved himself at 168, unifying every belt. Crawford, meanwhile, is stepping into the unknown.
168, you know, that he's been fighting there. He went and collected all the belts at that weight class. Crawford, of course, Crawford has a chance. He has a big chance, you know, being one of the pound-for-pound fighters of the world. But it's just the advantage of being there first. You know what to expect in that weight class. Crawford's coming off a 154 fight that he fought last year. So I really don't consider him even a 154. He's been fighting at 147 for a while. He had that one fight at 154, and then he stopped fighting for a year again. So, you know, of course he's probably been training, you know, again, high-class fighter, but to be comfortable at 168, you're gonna have to do some fights in there. And going in there fighting the undisputed champion.
Fundora stressed that being comfortable at 168 takes more than just moving up. It takes experience, timing, and knowing how your body reacts against naturally bigger opponents. Crawford may be a pound-for-pound great, but testing himself against the undisputed champion in his very first real super middleweight fight is a different beast entirely. Here, the advantage belongs to the man who already rules the division. Fundora also turned his focus toward camp strategies and sparring choices.
For Canelo's camp to have a fighter like Ennis, because yeah, he likes to switch right-handed, southpaw. I think Canelo probably didn't need that, but you know, the fact that Ennis went might cause a little bit drama. I think he did for a dramatic effect, but you know, great fighter at 147, but 154 is a different division. They have me in there, so we'll see what he did.
He noted that bringing in Jaron Ennis wasn't just smart physically, but also added to the drama. With his switch hitting style, Ennis offers valuable looks, but Fundora questioned whether Canelo even needed that edge. He suggested it might have been as much for effect as strategy, a reminder that psychology plays its own role long before the opening bell. At the end of the day, this fight isn't only about belts, it's about legacy. Canelo Alvarez brings power, experience, and proven dominance at 168. Terence Crawford brings speed, intelligence, and the hunger to defy the odds. Put it together, and you don't just get a fight, you get a potential turning point in boxing history. So what do you think? Does Canelo still have enough to prove he's the true king at 168? Or will Crawford's speed, IQ, and hunger tear down the weight barrier? Is this the night Canelo cements his empire, or the night Crawford writes a new chapter? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more, because you won't want to miss what's coming next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.